everybody, it's Jeff Antoniuk. Welcome to the Digging Deeper Jazz video series. This is video number 6, 2X your jazz chops. So today we're going to be talking about an idea that's going to help literally double your vocabulary, frankly better than that. It's a very, very cool exercise. And we're going to be working on the Charlie Parker song, Scrapple From The Apple. All right, well, as you probably know if you've seen any of these videos or the previous series, I love doing these videos, and really it's because you guys are here investing in yourselves, and that's very inspirational to me, and anything I can do to support you investing in this and this music in yourselves is great. That's why we're all here. And as I've talked about before, the two groups that I'm talking to here are, there's a lot of adult amateurs who are tuning in, and that's fabulous. And the people that would tune into something like this have a fierce desire to get better at this music and to be a part of this music and a part of what it means to be a musician. And I love that energy. I mean, it's like, someone who's serious about golf and the amount of time and money and energy and dedication they'll spend to knock 2 or 3 strokes off their game over the course of years. That's what I'm talking about. And so I dig that kind of dedication. And those are a lot of the folks that I'm listening to, or rather that are listening here. And then the other group, there's a lot of jazz professionals like myself, educators and players who are tuning into this. And I love that. And I think there are plenty of my friends and peers out there, let's say that, have been going for that sought after adjunct college teaching gig in your town. And you get that gig and then you find out like, wow, that doesn't pay very much money. Or you've got the gig, it's great, and 10 years later and now you've got 2 kids and it's like, wow, wonder what the next step is. Those are the kind of people I'm talking to. So now these two groups, the main reason I'm doing these videos is to bring the two of these groups together, to let my jazz musician friends, my pro friends out there know that this is amazing work to be working with these adult musicians, these really dedicated students. This is a lot of the work that I do, my personal teaching, working with adult amateurs, and I'm coaching jazz players all around the country. In New York, in Bethesda, Maryland, in Sarasota, Florida, in Philly. I was talking to somebody today in Portland, Oregon, and in California. So we're spreading this idea around. So you guys need to call me. Whichever group you're in, give me a call, send me an email. This is the mission I'm on, and I need you guys to be a part of this. This is how it works. Okay, so let's dig into this idea of our sort of cool tip for the day. And I'm going to put this sheet up on the screen right now, and let's call this the up a minor third thing. Now, this is very related to the previous video number 5 that we did, the commando jazz skills thing, where we were talking about motivic playing. And one of the many ways we can do that is by getting good at transposing in different root motions. So today, as the video series says, we're going to dig deeper into that, and we're going to work specifically with a minor third transposition, and we're going to do it in a specific place harmonically in a tune. So I've chosen Scrapple From The Apple, but it really could be any song that involves 2/5s, which, by the way, is almost every jazz song ever written, right? 2/5-1s, that progression is like the DNA of jazz and the great American songbook songs that we all pick. So, and I'm talking really the first 4 measures of Scrapple From The Apple, as you can see, is a G minor 7 to a C7 concert, G minor 7 to the C7. So I'm talking most specifically about those first 4 measures. And what I'm going to do when I play some examples, I'm going to be playing them over the first 4 measures, since that's where this idea really works well over that 2/5 progression. So here's the deal. When you see that G minor 7 to C7, that's a 2/5 progression. If that doesn't make sense to you, if you don't know what I'm talking about, sounds like you need to look at a video on 2/5s and then come back here and check it out. So for those folks that are good with what a 2/5 is, here's an interesting little quirk. I can't remember who showed me this, who told me this. I'm not the first guy to ever realize this or to ever teach it, I'm sure, but it's pretty awesome. So on the G minor chord, play whatever you were going to play. Play a little 1-measure melody, whatever that is. On the C7 chord, you're not going to play C7. What you're going to do is play the same thing you played up a minor third. So if I play a little melody like this on G minor. By the way, I have this handout I'd love to show you. This is item number 1 on the handout. I played 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, didn't sing it very well, in G minor. When I get to the C7 chord, I'm going to play it in B flat minor. I'm not playing the second chord change. It says C7. I'm not playing C7. I'm playing B flat minor. But I'm not thinking of it as a chord substitution. I'm thinking of it as what I just played, I'm going to play it again up a minor third. So that gets us playing motivically. By definition, you're playing the same thing a second time. That's good music, right? And it turns out that this up a minor third relationship puts it in a pretty cool place in the tune. Now that little melody I played there is the last 4 measures of the song Groovin' High by Dizzy Gillespie. It was composed into that song. So there's one. Whatever you play on the minor chord, just play it up a minor third. Of course, that requires the chops to be able to do that, mostly mental chops, right? Item number 2 on the sheet that I put up, simple pattern. This is my G minor lick. Now I'll play it up a minor third. Pattern number 3. Pattern number 4. So now these patterns aren't, they're just patterns I like. The first one, actually many of them are quotes. Number 1 is from Groovin' High. Number 2 is a simple digital, math pattern. Number 3 is taken from the song Cry Me a River. It's a classic jazz lick. Number 4 is taken from Honeysuckle Rose. Just great little melodies. And so we get used to doing that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to loop the A section of Scrapple from the Apple. In other words, those 8 measures are going to go over and over. I'm never going to get to the bridge. And on the first 4 measures, I'm going to play example number 1. I'm going to play it twice. I'm going to play it in measure 1 and 2. Then I'm going to play the same thing in measure 3 and 4. I may change the rhythm a little bit to make it interesting, but it's going to be the same notes in 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Then I'll improvise a little bit for the last 4 measures of the A section. Then when I go back the second time, I'm going to play example number 2. When I take the third time around, I'm going to play the lick from number 3, just so you can hear what it sounds like and what this up a minor third thing sounds like. Here's the trick. If you've listened to any jazz at all, this is going to sound kind of familiar. All right, so here I go. I'm going to start off with example number 1. So went by kind of quick, but if you kind of know what to listen for, that's it. It's the coolest little device. So you're going to see 2 5s constantly. And so now you have a way to play motivically and to amp up the harmony a little bit on the 5 chord using this little funny equivalency. We'll get into why it works. Well, okay, here's the hint. Diminished. It's sort of a diminished altered relationship. I explain it a little bit on the sheet. So by the way, please send me an email to jeffantoniuk@gmail.com. I would love to send you the PDF that goes along with this, which you've been seeing on your screen a little bit. And you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to improvise a little bit here in a non-motivic way. In other words, what I play on the minor chord, I'm not going to copy it exactly in the second measure, but I am going to use the relationship. So in other words, I'm going to play in G minor in the first measure, and then I'm going to play something, maybe not even motivic, but play in B flat minor as the C7 chord is playing, just so you can hear that it works great with the motivic stuff for sure, and that's really one of the big values of it. But it also sounds pretty cool just playing more through composed lines. And let me see if I can give you an example. So again, you're listening for the first 4 measures specifically. The second 4 measures of the loop, I'll just be improvising. you get for improvising on the internet. One or two little stray notes in there. But it's a pretty cool sound, right? So whether you play motivically with it or just sort of use it as an interesting way to get an altered sound. Now here's the way, here's the thing. Some of the notes that I ended up playing in that second measure, I could have gotten to using other devices. Whether you want to call it a tritone sub would have sort of gotten me there, the half whole diminished scale sort of kinda, the altered scale sort of kinda. But the interesting thing is when I'm thinking with this, each of those ways to get me to those notes would have had me playing, Jeff, playing different material. And I think most players are like that. How we get to a collection of notes, that process generally gets us playing different things. So if it's the same collection of notes, but you can get to it 4 different ways, practice those 4 ways, because I think your result will be different each time. Anyway, that's the shtick for today. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, I really want to be in communication with you folks, whether it's a jazz professional who wants to sort of talk about the work you're doing and how to expand your business, or adults who are looking for a place to play, looking for great information, looking for mentorship. I'd love to talk to you. So send me an email, jeffantoniuk@gmail.com. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. We've got much more great stuff coming up for you in the Digging Deeper Jazz series. Thanks so much. Take care.